What is going on, gamers? This is Bradley here, and today I'm bringing a review to you guys for Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate on the Wii U. So without further ado, let's hop in. Having never played any Monster Hunter game before, Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate is my first experience with the franchise, and I have to say, I am pretty impressed. The game starts out with Moga Village experiencing some earthquakes, and they fear their little village will crumble to the ground if this problem isn't fixed. So, of course, you, as a Monster Hunter, are there to rectify that problem. Now the village seems to suspect that this issue is coming from the monster Lagiacrus, so you set out to destroy it. Now the storyline for the game is pretty limited, but it does give you a reason as to why you are hunting monsters. So Moga Village acts as the main hub for the game, and you go out on quests hunting monsters or gathering resources in an attempt to work your way up the ladder to bigger and bigger monsters, and eventually fighting Lagiacrus. Now along the way, you will need to upgrade your armor and weapons to handle these beasts, and that is basically the premise of the gameplay. Now this concept might seem simple, but there is depth to it. Now if you have never played a Monster Hunter game before like myself, there is a somewhat steep learning curve because there are just so many little intricacies about this game that it takes time to learn it all. Like what all the different stats and upgrades mean for your weapons and armor, and what fishing and farming are helpful for, and where to find certain resources. Now the beginning does act as a tutorial, and you get an overview of some of the stuff you need to know in Monster Hunter, but it doesn't tell you everything. Now when I first started playing the game, I actually thought it was pretty boring and I didn't really like it, because you start out by doing fetch quests like mining, but once you actually break through that tutorial phase, it gets better. You will then want to continue to play and fight new monsters. Now as monster hunting being the main focus of the game, it is actually quite an enjoyable experience. Sure, I wasn't the biggest fan of fighting underwater, but fighting on land is awesome. Now while fighting, you don't just go all willy-nilly and slash up a monster repeatedly. Battling one monster can take over 30 minutes, so you have to use some strategy and play defensively, or else you may die. Now each monster has their own moveset, and figuring out how those work when they become vulnerable can be vital to you winning. Plus, monsters do not have health meters, so you have to observe from the way the monsters are acting to see if they are going to die soon. Of course, to actually take down these monsters, you're going to need some awesome weapons and armor, and it's actually pretty neat getting to see your hunter for the first time sporting that hard-earned equipment. Now there's a great variety of weapons to choose from over 10 different weapon types, and a variety of armor to outfit your hunter. Now each piece of equipment can be made by gathering resources from defeated monsters, mining, or even catching bugs. It can get somewhat annoying and repetitive concerning this though, because resources appear at random. You may be looking for a certain resource that can only be found from a certain monster, and you may have to fight that same monster multiple times just to get it. I mean, since battling a monster can take like 30 minutes and you go and check what resources you got from it and you find out that the resource you need isn't there, it can be a little disheartening. Now another complaint is actually the text boxes that appear in the corner of the screen when you talk with people, because they are pretty small, and it would have been nice if they made them bigger, and maybe even add some voice acting. The graphics in Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate are sharp and crisp since it is in HD, and the environments are colorful and vibrant, and there are a variety of different monsters and they look pretty good. But the one thing you will notice is that the NPCs have low polygons, so they aren't really detailed. Other than that, this game is the king of replay value. I'm nearing 20 hours of gameplay and I still haven't beat the game. Plus, Capcom is frequently releasing free downloadable quests to keep you busy, which is pretty awesome. Now to further the experience, if you don't feel like playing alone, you can always hop onto the online community and hunt with groups. With Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate being my first experience with the series, I am pretty pleased with it. Ultimate is an updated port of Monster Hunter Tri-G on the Wii, so if you have already played that game, you'll play over some of the same stuff, but there are new monsters, over 200 new quests, and new armor and weapons. Now when Capcom releases the update that includes off-TV play, it'll make the game even more awesome, since I like to play on the gamepad. So overall, the GamingPicture.com is awarding Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate on the Wii U an 8 out of 10. Now Capcom just needs to release Monster Hunter 4 outside of Japan. Well, that will wrap up yet another video review. If you liked what you saw, please give it a thumbs up. You can stay tuned for some more reviews like this in the future, along with my craziest Nintendo Stuff This Week video series, my news segments. You can also go to thegamingpicture.com to get news for the 3DS and the Wii U. But I'll talk to you later in the next video, guys. Bye!